we're so caught up in the external world, we forget that everything is an extension of us, right? And so the
Yeah.
universal principle of success, find it in every religion, every spiritual text, is the formula of be, do, have, right? So you can't have something unless you do something. And what you do stems from who you are, right? And so most people get
Mhm.
caught up in doing things and doing things. And that's why we say, I forget what the phrase is, but it's like when you do things over and over, that's how you lose your mind.
Welcome to Seven Figure Entrepreneur Podcast, the number one podcast bringing you behind the scenes with real online earners. No fake gurus here. And today we have the wonderful Mason Kuhr. Yeah.
Yes, there
All
you got
right,
it.
cool. Let's do it. I love it. All right. So Mason came to us from the wonderful Chris Reeder, our boy. He's been on here twice. Love that guy. Love his views on life, everything, man. So yeah, I had no hesitation. Just like, yes, Mason, jump on here. Let's do it because we love recommendations on this podcast. We also have the wonderful Tyler Devon rocking his
Everyone,
Tony Robbins hat, ready to
let's
go,
go.
ready to make some moves, probably drinking some sort of toxic energy drink right now.
Perps.
Oh, look at
What
this
is
guy.
perps? What is that?
Perps, baby. Look at this. Gabe, be proud of me, bro.
Oh, there you go.
I am.
Yeah, now
proud
we're
of you.
talking. Let's go.
There we go. Don't judge
Shit.
me.
I have tried to like cut out caffeine for a very long time and I actually feel great on it. But then like when I go in, I go all in, you know?
Yeah.
So like I'm going for I got the guru today, doubling down on that stuff. And then also I started taking this stuff, man, and I absolutely love
There
it.
you go.
So
Dude, I've had
wait,
some of the most times of my life on that. When I was in Egypt with Joey, we'd have some Nescafe and
Yeah.
like cheap instant coffee.
yeah.
And we were like on fire for like 4 hours.
You know what, man? Normally on this shit, I'm like, these things are all hype and garbage. But like I actually tried it. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. So
Bro, this is the best thing I think I've ever taken. Thesis.
What is it?
It's called Thesis. And basically they have like this little thing on their website. You ask this questionnaire and then it gives you a recommendation. But they have like essentially like 5 different formulas. And like I know one of these things. So there's like 4 pills in here. I know one's caffeine. I don't know what the rest are. But man, when I put that thing on, I'm on fire.
Let's go. Love it.
dude, I'm gonna dip in next week. I can't wait. Give me
Yeah.
some of that shit. All right. Sorry, Mason, we're rambling about some bullshit, but
That is all good.
we're happy to have you here. So kind of give us a rundown of who you are and what you currently do. Because I think you do a whole bunch of things, man. and
Yeah.
I want to know about it.
Yeah. So I am the founder of the Stampede Network, which is what I call a holistic performance supplement brand. So the goal with that is make holistic wellness mainstream and make it cool in the process. Right. So I've personally been through that transformation where adopting that lifestyle, it radically changed my life. And so I know what it can do for people if they understand a holistic way of thinking and living and start to heal themselves from the inside out. And so, all that stuff's really taboo today. The goal with it, like I said, make it mainstream, make it something that people resonate with and want to be a part of and build a movement around self-improvement in the process. And so I started that back in December 2021, just scaled the shit out of it so much since then. And we've hit a point now where if I wanted to, I could scale this thing up to millions a month, but we're working on replenishing everything on the back end so that we can do that.
Mm.
Dude, I love it. What's kind of like your breakdown of holistic for like someone who doesn't know? Because I know that's kind of like a term that gets tossed around for everything, and some of it means absolutely nothing. And I know that there is value to it in other meanings. So can you give us a breakdown of that?
So holistic is basically the perspective that everything connects to everything else, right? So it's the full mind, body, and spirit integration, right? So it's like the
Mhm.
gut, for example. People want to heal their gut so that they don't have, stomach aches, gut issues, all those things, but they don't realize that the gut produces 95% of our serotonin, which is our happiness and fulfillment hormone, right?
Wow.
So if your gut is polluted, if there's no clarity in the gut, you're not going to have clarity in the mind because the way one thing works, everything else works as well. It's for that quote, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. It's the same exact
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting, man. Cause like I feel that like, and I'm sure you guys are on the same page, but when like my diet, my fitness, everything's dialed in, like my brain is just on fire, like I'm making moves,
Absolutely.
things are getting done, my routine gets dialed, like everything, right? So for me personally, it's like an all or nothing. Like if I'm like out of sync eating like a trash panda, and then I'm like, I feel like shit all around, nothing's getting done, you know? A trash panda is a raccoon, for everyone who doesn't know. And P.S. I
Yeah.
love raccoon. They're my spirit animals. So
I just
anyway,
again second. That's what I'm checking.
yeah. So that's cool, man. That's very cool. So kind of let's talk about your business now and what it essentially does. What are you selling? What are you
Got
pushing?
you.
How you scaled it up. Let's just go full circle here,
All right,
man.
let's do it. So yeah, like I said, back in December 21, the way I approach business and e-commerce is unique compared to most people in this space. So I had some drop shipping experience a few years ago. I had gotten banned off of Facebook ads. So that little journey was put through a whole I've tried for years to get it back. It's like a freaking black hole in there. Um,
Yeah,
but
I can get it back for you.
we'll be talking about that one for sure. um, but anyway, so towards the end of college for me, I was about to graduate. I was kind of I was going through a big self-improvement journey. Had gone from this lost phase after playing football in college, didn't know what I was doing, didn't know what was going on. And so found myself back into the wellness, fitness rabbit hole where you're just going all in on self-improvement, right? And so at that time, I was like, I'm going to start documenting this journey. And so I got onto TikTok and just started recording this process of growth, building up an audience. When I graduated, I ended up moving back into my parents' basement for a little bit while I was kind of working on this coaching business, right? And is this idea of a self-improvement community called the Stampede Network. And
Yeah,
so the coaching, it wasn't really hitting me the way that I thought it would. It wasn't fully using my
yeah,
skills. And so I knew like there was just that voice inside that was like, you got to build something, you got to build a brand, you got to build something that people can be a bigger part of. And so
mhm,
that's when I got back onto Shopify and I started
yeah,
trying to push like products of, digital programs, clothing, all that. And it wasn't working for me because I wasn't a good marketer yet. And so I had like this audience of, it was like 10 to 30K at the time, and I had not made a single sale for like 7 months, and I was losing my mind. Um,
mhm,
really wanted to quit in this process, but, I finally had this epiphany one day where I realized, like, I'm not providing what the market wants, right? And so my
mhm,
market they were all followers of me. I had like 60,000 people up at this point, and they were all focused on the holistic wellness stuff. That's what people wanted to listen. That's what was getting engagement and interaction. And so I was like,
mhm.
in my head, I knew I knew that I would have to be a supplement guy. I didn't want to
Yeah.
do it because there's just this stigma in the industry that everything is they don't put the right ingredients in, synthetic ingredients, sweeteners, chemicals, all types of crap that's not actually healthy. And so I was like, I'm going to
Mhm.
do this. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to be fully transparent, fully truthful. I'm barely going to like try and sell people to buy things. I'm just going to present it in a way that it's aligned, right? And it's going to be
Yeah.
holistic too. And so I ended up finding online this unique product that was called bee bread, right? And so what bee bread is basically bee pollen that the bees will collect. They'll bring it to the hive. They'll put it through this fermentation process, crack it open, and mix it with honey. And so they use that as fuel. It has 240 vital nutrients, amino acids, antioxidants like glutathione, flavonoid, all types of stuff. It's insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And so I tried this for a month and I was like, dude, I love this stuff. Right. And so that's why I decided, what? I'm going to hit up this manufacturer. I got a agreement sent up where we got it imported into the US, branded up, all that, got it onto the site, and I was going to set up a pre-order. Right. And so I stared at this. I stared at it for probably 3 weeks. Right. And I didn't want to do it.
A fear of
Yeah.
implementation.
I did not want to do this thing because deep down, I knew it was going to be this new identity for me. And I just want
Yeah.
to accept it. But, you know, it's as I
Yeah.
watched the bank account slowly go down and
Yeah.
then faster and faster and faster, I was like, yeah, all
Yeah.
right, you know what? I'm not going to,
What were you scared of, man? Just like losing your previous identity or?
because I'd already lost it before from football.
Mhm.
I was an athlete my whole
Mm.
life. And so that was like, I think I was still in there a little bit. So when I saw this new one coming towards me, I was like, that's not who I am. That's not who I am.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was telling me it is who I am. That's why it showed up that way. And
Yeah.
I just, yeah, I think too, it was kind of that fear of like the responsibility, all the things that would come with that identity, you know, getting locked into just a certain perception of myself again is all rational stuff. And I think that's what it is
Yeah.
today. But anyway, you know, I got down one night. It was the craziest. It was the craziest thing ever. I got down one night. I was just like losing my mind. And I was like, you know what? I give up. First night I got down, I actually prayed. I was like, God, listen, here's the deal. I promise you, I will fulfill my purpose with this, whatever it is. I will do what I need to do. Just give me a sign, some abundance, because I am absolutely losing my mind. And I get it at this point. It was just like this night of surrender. I'd watched this David Meltzer video, basically talking about the power of that, which was really because
Yeah.
I went up to VCon and I got to tell David face to face about this story, which is really cool.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, so that video, it's like that night I surrendered. The next day I get up
Yeah.
and I get this intuitive urge to go, you know, record a video of this thing on TikTok and finally put it out there. Right. And so at the time I had a pre-order up on the site, and that's when I was going to talk about in the video. And so
Yeah.
I get this product, I go in my bathroom and in my sleepless hoodie and underwear, right? Standing there and I hold this product out in front of me and I just start talking about it for 60 seconds. And so
Yeah.
after I'm done recording, edit it up, and then I sit there and for 5 minutes, I'm like, do I post it? And I put it out and I just toss my phone onto my bed.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
can't believe I just did that. So I'm sitting down for like 5-10 minutes. And all of a sudden, this crazy thing happens. I'm sitting there and I hear the Shopify ding.
I
Yeah.
love that ding,
I'm
man.
like, I haven't heard that in a long time. I think it's been like 3 years. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I check it out. I'm like, what did someone buy? A program? And I looked and someone bought the bee bread. And I was like,
Yeah.
what? And so I look on the site. I was so stupid on the tech side. I'd set up the pre-order wrong. So they were buying it. And I was like,
Yeah.
what? Okay. Anyway, I was like, that's a fluke. I'm just going to leave it open. No one else is going to get it. I throw the phone back. 5 minutes later, another one comes in. There's another ding. I was like, what? Go look. Oh, it's the bee bread again. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see if third time's the charm. I put it back down. I got 2 days, 5 minutes later. What? Okay. You know what? I think it's on purpose this time. I'm going to see one more time what happens. I put that phone down. 5 minutes later, this thing was just printing. Just ding, 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 ding. It was like someone was just cranking at it. And that thing, it went all day. In that single day, it made $26,000 worth of sales, and we sold out the store 10 times over what we had in inventory.
Holy
shit.
The video hit
Just from a 60-second
a
video,
million
man.
views on that video.
Wow.
Yeah.
In a single day.
That's nuts. That's nuts,
and
man.
that was like, that was the sign that really started to give me faith too. Right. Like that's why the brand itself means a lot to me. Cause I was like, man, it really helped me connect deeper to faith.
Yeah.
Imagine, man. That's pretty
It was
wild.
wild. And so, yeah, I mean, I spent that entire month getting blown up on customer support because we didn't have the inventory to fulfill it yet. So I'm like, I'm trying to
Yeah.
mitigate all that. We're getting
Yeah.
more inventory in stock, but when we finally got it, ended up using that cash flow. I knew how to build the systems and teams, and so
Yeah.
kind of rolled out some Spark ads for a bit, built up a team, and then sky's the limit from there.
Wow, dude. That's
That's
wild.
It was
really
crazy.
cool.
To have a product like that too, man, there's only one other time I've heard that happening from like probably a few hundred people, any club I've
Mhm.
talked to. But it was this couple. It was a reusable tampon cup.
What?
Oh,
And
yeah.
they put up some video on Facebook and they did like 100 grand in sales in a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like they literally were not expecting to sell a single unit. So, but like, dude, that's freaking wild.
It
That
was
happened,
wild.
man.
And it's like, we could have probably cracked 200K in a day. I had to pull the plug. So I had to
Oh,
like
shit.
I had to put out a stock and put up like an
Yeah.
email opt-in to notify. Because it would have taken 3 months to fulfill it at that rate. Because it was the first sale with this company too in our partnership, and it was like we're on the phone, first time talking in person. We're like, what is going on right now? It made no
Yeah.
Yeah.
sense.
They must have loved it, man. Whoever
Oh,
was
they
providing
love
you
it.
that
They
prompt,
loved
they'd
it.
be like,
But it
Yeah.
changed everybody's life in the process. It's insane.
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Man, that's cool. Do you think that video you made was like anything special, or do you think it was just like you, like how Gary Vee says, how you just give away everything for free for so long to your audience, and then that one ask, like you give, and then that
Yeah.
ask, right? Do you think it was that did it, or do you think that you just like hit it out of the park with that sales video, or
It was a mix.
the combo?
It was a mix.
Yeah.
So I was really going deep on like esoteric knowledge and all that stuff during the
Yeah.
self-improvement journey. So and Chris and I, we just did a podcast on this. I still got to post it, but talking about natural laws, and how to use those
Yeah.
for success. So, I'm a firm believer in laws of reciprocity, law of polarity, law of correspondence, which is basically like you give what you get, or you get what you get. Right.
Yeah.
And so,
Mhm.
yes, did that for so long. But on that video, like I've always been kind of natural at sales. My dad's an entrepreneur. So
Nice.
I knew what to say to get people excited. I've been doing door to
Yeah.
door sales since I was like 16. And so I was, I
Oh,
was
wow.
kind of doing that anyway. But in this video, like right off the bat, I was talking straight to my audience. So it was like, you want to be a Greek god, a Spartan, any of those things, you've got to try this. Right. And so I want to be a
Yeah.
Greek god. I want to be a Spartan. And
Yeah.
so the product's called Spartan bee bread. Right. And so
Yeah.
the whole story, it's the food of the gods in ancient Egypt and Greece. That's what they called it. They called it the dust of life, is bee pollen. So it's really cool story behind it. Like Muhammad Ali, Bruce Lee, they all use bee products. So
You just sold Tyler. He's like looking it up right now. He's like working.
Yeah,
on
I'm like,
shit.
look
dude, you would
this.
love
I've
it.
never heard.
I'm telling you.
The Spartan shit threw Tyler over
Yeah,
the
bro.
edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at my dude I got right here.
Yeah, we just partnered with Spartan Races on it.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
amazing. That's very cool,
Yeah, it'd be
man.
dope.
I'm gonna buy some too. Where do I get it from?
Get it on thestampedenetwork.com. The Stampede Network.
You sell to Canada?
We do.
Do you have it
We
on
do. It'll be a
Amazon?
little slow right now because like I said, we had a massive one of the no, we're getting it on Amazon. One of our creators, because we just started building an in-house creator team, and I've been
Nice.
absorbing
Yeah.
my brain into him. His first video he posted did the exact same thing as mine. So
Oh,
his hit 1 million too, and it popped it off. We've been running it as an ad. It's doing an 11x.
what?
Damn.
You don't mind me
You
asking,
guys-
what's your margin on that?
Net with
Feel free to say
net with
substantial.
ads, it's been like 35%.
That's solid,
Yeah, it's
man.
been good.
So interesting. That's really cool. So do you do? Sorry if I missed this, but you're doing paid traffic as
Yeah,
well?
paid, organic, email, we got it all.
I love it. Full circle.
Absolutely.
Dude, this was crazy.
Yeah, I'm on the site right now too. I need to buy some.
You love it?
What's that?
Like, I imagine you eat this
Oh
yourself.
yeah, dude, I love I eat it every day. That and Awakened, the pre-workout on there is the natural pre we just came out with. That one's
shit.
dope. So remineralizes the body, helps testosterone, serotonin, dopamine, central nervous system. It's fully synergistic. And then it doesn't give you like the cracked out feeling. A lot of holistic people don't like that. I don't like it, but no
Yeah.
itchy, none of that stuff.
Oh, I love the itchy. No, I'm just
You like the
kidding.
beta
Itchy.
alanine? Word. Yeah.
I hate it, man.
I can't stand it.
Man, there's not even much coffee in here, or it doesn't look like there's much caffeine.
No, so it's got decaffeine malate, which is the way the whole caffeine system works. Yeah, the whole caffeine system works basically like when we wake up in the morning, right? Our brain releases overnight this thing called adenosine, which is what tells us we're tired. Okay. And so when we wake up in the morning, it takes 2 hours for that to clear out. It also takes 2 hours for growth hormone to spike. And so if what happens is most people get up and they just down a cup of straight caffeine bomb coffee. And what that does is caffeine doesn't actually energize you. It just cuts off the adenosine from telling you you're tired. Right. And so if you drink that caffeine, you'll feel good for a few hours, but as soon as it wears off, it's like releasing a floodgate of adenosine. That's when you get the crash. Right. And so
Yeah.
decaffeine malate's basically like a half strength and it extends the curve. So you still get some of it coming through and it's a lot smoother. You don't get that crash.
Interesting.
Dude, I love it.
What you talk about? I imagine you know these ingredients all pretty well. What can you talk about Tom Catalee? Because a friend of mine was talking about that.
Yeah. So Tonga Ali helps. Huberman was talking about it.
Was it
Yeah.
Huberman?
Yeah, it helps your free testosterone levels. He was talking about that and Fidosia agrestis. We didn't put that one in there, but yeah, both of those are just honestly, I think the best testosterone ingredients that you could consume.
You got stevia
For
too.
sure.
Good deal, bro. This is awesome.
Yeah, and like
man.
with that, we wanted no artificial anything. So no acesulfate potassium, no sucralose, no red 40, any of that crap that's banned in the EU. Like most pre-workouts are just full of crap. So
Yeah. They really
I'm
are.
going to pay full price here as a model citizen, but you should definitely drop your
let's go.
your promo at the end.
Let's go.
You're not going to subscribe and save, bro? Come
First
on.
10 on your first order is the code.
Oh, is it? All
First
right.
10.
Dude, this is freaking awesome,
Thanks.
man. I love
Yeah,
it.
let's talk to you about
Appreciate
this.
it. Yeah, we just we got some UFC fighters on too. So we just signed Mickey Gall. That's been fun. I visited him 2 weeks ago when we've been collabing. It's been insane.
Yeah,
That's
man.
cool. How do you go about having that conversation with someone that has like that's a celebrity or like a major sports player or whatever? How do you go about finding them and getting in that conversation and then bringing
I
them on?
wish I could tell you because my biggest asset has been my personal brand. So they've all come to me.
Oh shit.
I don't want to pretend like I have the tactic for that because my whole philosophy is I build myself to the point that I'm undeniable. And so the right people find me.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like my TikTok's at like 650 something K. So yeah,
Oh, that's
got
amazing.
enough reach that it allows those things to happen.
Dude, this
All right,
is
well,
awesome. I love it.
Dude, if you don't mind talking, you were just saying about how you make yourself undeniable. We don't really talk about that kind of shit on here, but I think there's huge value in it. And I think it's been coming up a lot in my life, at least. So how do you go about making yourself undeniable?
So it first starts with taking care of the basics and the fundamentals of yourself. Because that's what most people ignore. We're so caught up in the external world. We forget that everything is an extension of us. Right. And so the universal principle of success, find it in every religion, every spiritual text, is the formula of be, do, have. Right. So you can't have something unless you do something. And what you do stems from who you are. Right. And so most people get caught up in doing things. And that's why we say, I forget what the phrase is, but it's like when you do things over and over, That's how you lose your mind.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, the Einstein quote, "The definition of insanity is doing the same thing
Yeah.
over
exactly,
and expecting
exactly.
results."
And so until you step into the awareness and perspective and consciousness of a new version of yourself, you're not going to take the right actions, right? So it's really like taking that time to build yourself up, mind, body, spirit. So your fitness, your nutrition, get clarity in those things, raise your vibration through the fitness, right? That when you increase, like I said, everything's holistic. When you increase the movement of your body, movement is medicine. So when you increase things in the physical, the speed of that, it increases the speed of your mind and the spirit. It all happens at once.
Mhm.
Um, so if you
Mhm.
don't take care of those fundamentals, you're not going to have the clarity that allows those intuitive ideas to come in and to receive those. So you have to literally turn yourself into a vessel where these new perspectives are able to happen. Right. And so I also
Mhm.
meditate every single morning. First thing I
Nice.
do
Love
when
it.
I wake up in the morning is do burpees. They suck. But what happens is you prime your brain to
Yeah.
associate dopamine with hard things. Right. And so if you do that,
Yeah.
your first reward is going to be doing something hard and you set yourself up
Yeah.
for success. Right. And so literally just all you need to do first is prioritize yourself. It's okay to be selfish for a bit because you can't fill another glass
Mhm.
unless you're a full pitcher.
Dude, I believe in that wholeheartedly. Did you guys ever see Elliot
Yeah.
Hulse? Dude, I used to watch that guy all the time, and I thought he had a very interesting perspective one day. He was saying, he's like, "People may call me selfish because he's like, I got 3 kids," and he's like, "I wake up early in the morning because the first 2 hours of my day are me or for me or
Right.
whatever." But he had that same perspective. He was more or less saying, he's like, "If you can't take care of yourself, like, you're not in a position to take care of other
Yeah.
people." And I thought there was a lot of truth to that, man. I
Yeah.
like
I
that.
mean, you'll drain yourself otherwise, right? Like people
Oh,
pleasers don't get much. Like if you don't please yourself in
Yeah.
terms of taking care of yourself, when
Yeah.
you're gonna end up resenting people. Yeah,
Yeah.
resentment is not gonna fly.
dude, man,
Yeah.
I love this. One thing I kind of wanted to touch on earlier, there's that whole saying, it's like when preparation meets opportunity, luck
Yeah.
happens, right? Like, I bet you all your door-to-door skills, just with the right product, man, I bet you that was a big chunk of this. So, like, kudos for you for putting the
Thanks,
reps,
man.
man, because that definitely makes all the
It was
difference.
fun. I mean, yeah, like when I was in high school, we do fundraisers and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
back and I forgot about this, but we do like fundraisers where we have these things called value cards, right? And so I remember, even in middle school, once you hit a certain point, like you had to hit a certain quota so we could go to a camp as a team in football, right? After
Yeah.
that, you made like 50% of the card value back, right? And so I
Yeah.
remember like I sold like 300 or something in like a month, and second place was like 60, right? So it was always like this like tendency towards doing these things that always felt really
Yeah.
natural and it's fun to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
dude. I was gonna say too, man, going through your whole,
That's
like, sales
like I'm like,
process, like, I like how you have the one-click, upsells and all that stuff in there. It looks like the free gift at the end. Who, like, put all this together for you, or how did you model all this? And do you like, spend a lot of time really optimizing for
yeah.
performance on
So
that?
at the beginning, like I said, when that one video popped off, I spark added it for a little bit. I knew that was a thing. And so we were doing like 3K a day for a while with me at like having the worst ad buying knowledge ever. Like I was going broad,
Yeah.
letting it do its thing. And that's the magic of TikTok and short form is like when you get one pumping organically, it's going to convert on paid because it's going
Yeah.
organically. And so you
Uh-huh.
just put that ad spend behind it. I rolled with that for like 3 months, but momentum was slowly dying. So I'm like, I'm freaking out because I just didn't have the skills of it. I was like, I'm going to be back in my parents' basement. And
Yeah.
so at the time, with my following too, I had my team reach out to me, my current marketing. They're still with me. Phenomenal dude, but they hit me up and they're like, we can help you with the paid ads and all that stuff. And so we got a system rolling, got it back to, baseline and just scaled up since then. And I've been learning from them conversion knowledge. I think that's the thing too, is like, as a leader, you need to be okay with bringing on guys who are a lot better than you in specialized things. You
Mhm.
just have to do it and learn from them in the process, and just feed each other's, whatever you want the phrase to be, fill each other's glasses, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so, yeah, I learned from them conversion. I knew psychology. So I was like, what if we take your technical knowledge and we combine it with this? Like, this is what I'm thinking the customer's doing. And we just test so many things over and over. I love the psychology. I love the branding. I love getting the message out. They like the conversion elements. They like technical things. Right. And so it's like, you just kind of bring it together and you find a way to synergize, and you just do it over and over and over until you're the best at it. Our ad format, we
Mhm.
pretty much run since the beginning. It's the exact same
Right.
type of like style, just different messages, and getting better at it over time.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like that with that too, is people respond to energy and the authenticity. Right. So it's like, the more you do
Mhm.
it over and over, the more centered you are in yourself. That's one of, like I said, that natural law. It's gonna come back because you're so calm and present. You create this vacuum where you're able to give out energy more efficiently, more effectively. So it comes back in proportion. And people just pick up on, like, people know when they're being sold. The videos,
Yeah.
it's like too, when you do it so many times and you have the sales coming in, you get to a point, I don't really care anymore if people buy or not, because we have enough, right? So you get the
Yeah.
abundance mentality, and then that comes
Yeah.
out too in the content and the ads and everything. And so people respond with that.
Totally. Dude, I
Yeah.
love it, man. That's awesome. What, if you don't mind me asking, man, as far as like recurring revenue, revenue
Yeah.
numbers in general, units sold, like what are you looking at on a monthly
Yeah,
basis?
we've been going wild. So if you look at the site, we just put that metric up at the top yesterday. The paradigm shifted. So that's tied to the total amount of
Damn.
customers that we've had since
Shit.
yeah. So
45,000?
we've been doing that. Yeah, this
Damn, dude.
past month we did 425K. This month, if I wanted to, we could scale to like probably 800K minimum, but I just don't think it's possible with working on the back end systems to keep up with that. So just, and the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
issue with that, but I could see like 600 probably, and then recurring we're doing close to like 200K a month.
Dude, that's
Dude, that's
wild.
fantastic. Out of 30% too. That's
Yeah, and that
wild,
just
bro.
keeps increasing with the subscription. So
I mean, what's
Yeah.
nice about reoccurring as well, it's like you've already paid for the user, man. It's not profit margin.
right.
Goes to
And the
fucking
thing that really keeps them
Yeah.
around on that is our email list is bumping. Like last month we did 100K just off of email alone.
wow. Dude, email is so
Dude, it is
underutilized in
the best
e-commerce.
way to build. It is by far, I think, the best way to build a community. Other than like, or
And just the ROI, it's crazy. Like, well, we've talked about this before, but like on Facebook, say you're paying a $30 or $40
yeah,
CPM. Well, to reach your list on email, it's like
it's
50
insane. Yeah,
cents,
and
a
the
dollar.
craziest thing ever is like, I can come up with a product idea. I'll send it out. We did this. I was like, hey guys, do you like this idea? Within like 60 seconds, just telling like they would be down to buy it immediately.
Dude, I love it. I love it, man. I love that you have the creator mindset, but you also have like the business marketing
Yeah.
aspect of it too. Because generally people can fall on different sides of that, right? But it seems like you kind of found the sweet spot in the middle, so you
Appreciate
could be on that. We had one friend, he had never emailed his list ever, and I think they're doing about 1 million a month. You know who this is, Gabe? One of the guy with the wax product.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, long story short, I told him one day, I'm like, dude, you got to email your list, and he's like, oh, can I pay you? I'm like, I'm not really for hire. Like, I'm busy enough with my own shit. But dude, his first email made like $99,700. And he'd never mailed his list
Wow.
ever. And it like blew my fucking mind because I'm like, wow, I work like a lot harder to make that
Yeah.
same amount, right? Time. But anyways, dude, it was just like crazy. Like email is so underrated.
Yeah. And I mean, we don't even try and sell people an email. It's just adding value. Like we'll give holistic wellness tips, entrepreneurship tips, mindset tips, updates on my life. So like basically take like what I do in my TikToks and content and extend it out. I was telling, we did an email where I was down in Colombia. I had my phone stolen on a subway. I'm just, putting emails out about that. And that generated so many sales. It's just, yeah,
Well,
people resonate with people at the end of the, so
yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
That,
yeah,
That's wild, man.
I got to check out your TikTok, man, because it sounds like you're pretty like synchronized into your
for
brand and
sure.
stuff.
And that's like what I wanted to do from the beginning. Cause I grew up,
Yeah.
my dad, when he owned a killer insurance agency, just sold, super proud of him for that. But I grew up kind of watching like money, you can make a lot of money, but if you're not doing something that's like truly lighting you up, or you're passionate about or aligned, wherever he found fulfillment in that or not, to taking care of that. I think that was his mission.
Mhm.
For me, I just didn't want the stress of like trying to make money for a means to an end. And so I was like, no matter what I do, that's why I made a promise to myself when I was a kid. It's like, no matter what I do, I'm going to only do it if it aligns with me and lights me up. So it's like the things I do anyway have just become the business.
Oh, that's amazing, man. That's
That's
really
super.
cool. Especially to tie it all into like an online brand that sells supplements, right? Because I feel like those two can be very
Yeah.
separate. But you found a way to tie it together and make it one, which is cool to do because like as we know, there's a million supplement brands out there that have zero face, zero people connection. So kudos to you, man, because
Appreciate
that's
it. Yeah.
cool.
The trust and transparency factor is also why we'll win in the long term. So
Yeah, no doubt, man. Well, I love it.
Yeah.
Man, I think you've been doing a phenomenal job building that brand and making that
appreciate
happen. So
it.
that's cool. What, as far as like next stages in your business and how you plan to grow that, what does that look like for you?
So right now it's just getting the back end system solidified, optimizing, getting more inventory, more supply, yeah, upping customer support. Same things we're doing, hiring more people to help with just bigger systems, getting those processes set up.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, just really like getting it to the big stage of more products, doing the same thing over and over with them and making those bigger partnerships. So, I have no problem with the exact same thing at just a bigger scale. And that's what it is. I'm going to get this thing to 9 figures minimum. So, and I think sooner than I thought, but, um, yeah, the goals with that. And then also get into like the event space, holistic wellness retreats, live speaking things. I would love to do that. So, yeah,
That's awesome. Would you ever consider going into like stores like Whole
for
Foods and
sure.
stuff
And
like that?
we could now, like I have people hit me up, but it's not that time I can feel yet. Would be
Mm.
stretched too thin, I think. Um, so I really want to
Mhm.
like just take over the internet first, really solidify that
Yeah.
in the US, expand internationally online, solidify that, get Amazon set up, solidify that. And then from there, yeah, we can face to face.
Yeah.
That's
Are
awesome.
margins much thinner on retail?
Um, I'm really not too familiar with it just because I haven't dove into it yet. I have some friends, they own Matt
Yeah.
Rabbit. You know that brand? It's like a tattoo
No,
bomb.
I'm
They were
not
on
sure.
Shark Tank, but they just got into
Mhm.
Walmart, which is massive.
Yeah.
I think they
Very
are
cool.
a little bit thinner, but it's like it's pretty automated
No.
work. So
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Would you ever consider a like a buyout?
buyout of me.
Just the
Yeah.
brand, I guess. No, and you
Could
can't you can't
Yeah,
I
sell
was
you,
thinking
right?
about buying out others. So uh yeah.
I love it.
Potentially some
Yeah.
percentage for sure. Intent isn't to sell, but I want to make it sellable. So,
Yeah.
it's a bigger
Dude,
mission than myself. And with this,
Mhm.
I think that's some wisdom
yeah,
right there, man. Whether you sell or not,
for
making it
sure. And
so
it's
it
like
is.
that paradigm
Yeah.
shifted thing on the side. It's this tiny little feature, but it's a new metric for success for us and the customers to get on with. You know, it's just like I don't have to
Yeah.
sit here looking at the number because money is hollow at the end of the day. Right? It's just a tool, right? So it's
Yeah.
like if I can run up the scoreboard up paradigm shift and let's rock. So can other
Yeah.
people. That's fun.
Yeah.
We got a new affiliate software. So it's like we got troops on the battlefield. It's dope.
I love
I
it,
love it.
man. That's so cool.
It's interesting, man. I think you're kind of wise too for like building that online brand and that following. I remember I was in a GNC at Denver one time and I walked in and there was like this beautiful display for some sort of energy drink, but the display was empty. Like the
Yeah.
product was sold out. And I walked to the guy there. I'm like, what is this? Like, never heard that. He's like, are you serious? You've never heard of this? He's like, this thing sells out instantly. He's like, we can't keep
Wow.
anything. And he's like, the only reason we put it in the store is because our customers kept asking us for it. So he's like, we were pretty much forced to. And I'm like, wow, that's good for them. Like for them for building a brand that was so compelling that like will literally go to their local stores and be like, you need to
Yeah.
carry this shit.
It's all storytelling too. I found what like the
Yeah.
coolest brands are. You look at like Liquid Death, just water. But
Yeah,
it's,
Oh yeah.
you
Love
it's
that shit.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. People buy the story for sure. Then the product keeps them there, I
Right.
think.
It's the identity is what people are looking. People think
Yeah.
we all think we know what we want, but at the end of the day, we're just like we said at the beginning, trying to become someone. That's what we really want. And so it's like
Mhm.
if you can be a part of a transformation instead of just a product, then that's what the real deep work is. And when when the
Mhm.
money like will naturally flow to you, because that's what we're seeking.
Yeah. Agreed, man. Very cool. Tyler, what was that brand?
Dude, I don't even remember, to be honest with you. It was like
Yeah.
some sort of like, I think it was some female influencer or something in the fitness
Oh
space.
shit.
I wish I knew. It was like kind of girly looking, so I didn't touch it because I don't know, ego play. I don't know what to tell you, but either way, I was just blown away. I'm like, this girl is killing it.
Yeah.
Good for her. I love seeing people successful. I actually, it was interesting, man. I never heard someone put it like this before, but I got a tour of a very expensive part of Florida a couple months back. Like, and there's houses for 9 figures there,
Yeah.
and which is insane if you think about that. 9 figures
Yeah.
in Florida. And anyways, long story short, the guy who gave me the tour was the first guy who ever sell house for 9 figures. And he was just talking about like he had a fascinating story on his own, just about how he kind of got the place he was. He said he was a very high paid sibling for a lot of years, and that's a different story. But where I'm going with this, he was like, he said something along the lines of like, I'm the most capitalistic pig you'll ever meet. He's like, I want people to make so much fucking money. But he's like, some of these prices around here would disgust me. But I thought it was funny when he said that. He's like, I want people to be so successful. I'm like, man, I want that. Like, I want to see people crushing it because the opportunity exists
100%.
in so many places. Like for your stuff, for example, like you, obviously you're more than just a supplement, but at a broad stroke, like there's so many supplement brands, yet you can still make your way in the marketplace, right? And as we're talking now, there's probably a couple other up and coming supplement brands. So it's like there's just so many ways, so many opportunities that people can kind of latch onto, especially in the US, man. Like I'm seeing ads about how to buy businesses with AI. And I don't totally understand what that means, but I know on the back end, they're using with stuff like SBA loans and things like this. Like as tough as like a lot of it is for a lot of people right now with interest rates and whatnot, like opportunity exists, no question.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's like that, with this space with everything's so abundant, you know? So like I've kind of gotten out of the competition mindset. And this is coming
Yeah.
from someone who I was a wrestler 15 years, running back in college. So it's like, I know what competition at those highest levels are. And it's just like, it's really like, there's 7 billion people, you know, like
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
serving 100,000 people out of that. That's a lot of people. And it's not
Let's,
like they're limited. They can buy multiple products. You can do brand collaborations. It's like, there's so many ways to build communities without trying to like just hold on to everything. So
Yeah.
I love it,
Agreed,
dude.
man.
dude, well, this has been awesome, man. It's such a pleasure
Yeah.
meeting you. Base, by the way.
I'm in Tampa, so I'm down by those 9-figure houses.
Dude, I'm in St.
Oh,
Pete.
what?
Yeah, I'm
So
literally
walk
over
the
the
lake
bridge,
up,
bro.
bro. That's awesome.
100%, man.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
crazy.
That's hilarious. That's
Gabe,
really cool.
did you like him?
I'm Vancouver, Canada.
But you're coming
Yeah.
down in a few days here.
Yeah, I'll be down next Thursday.
Let's go. Yeah, I could
Let's do
roll
it.
over potentially. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be dope.
I
awesome.
love it, man.
Where's the best place for people to find you, man? If they want to buy your product, connect with you, watch your content.
Yeah. My brand is thestampedenetwork.com, so you can check that out there. Also, Awaken pre-workout is on Amazon if you look up Awaken Pre. My socials are at Mason Kuhr everywhere. So IG, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, you name it. Got my own podcast too. Building up a
Sick.
little bit. So y'all can check that out. Also, if you guys started the I haven't looked like the YouTube podcast format. Or you've been
This is all mostly like, honestly, I think a lot of people watch on YouTube for this. So yeah, we definitely do the YouTube front.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but going in on that. So I'm excited there.
Good for you, bro.
Cool, man.
I
Yeah,
love it, dude.
well-
Thank you for taking the time. It's such a pleasure. It's nice to have another online guy in our backyard here too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What are you talking about? Florida is fucking stacked, bro.
I
Like
know.
everyone in the online space is in goddamn Florida.
And if
No,
they
they
go,
won't.
it's Miami. Everyone's in Miami.
That's true. I mean, they were in California, but then they all dipped over.
And they ruin it.
Fair enough. All right. Thanks for everyone listening today. For everyone watching, please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube. And for everyone listening, give us a 5-star review on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, or Stitcher. Yeah. All right, guys. See you on the next one. Later.
Thank you.
Peace.